Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. We finally have here we go. We finally have two brand new signings at Paris Saint Germain. Basically, one signing because the other one is a replacement for Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's obviously outgoing. But yes, we have gotten all the Ballon d'Or top 30 nominations, but we have even more positive, great news to celebrate too. Let's go through the reports. Because we've been reporting and talking about Chevalier and Zabarnyi for at least 2 months. Breaking, PSG and Lille have reached an agreement for Lucas Chevalier for a fee worth in the excess of 40 million euros. Only a few details remain to finalize the transfer. The player is set to travel to Paris to undergo medical examination and sign a 5-year contract at the club. From Fabrizio Romano, here we go. Lucas Chevalier to join Paris Saint Germain on a permanent transfer for a fee in the excess of 40 million euros. Justin Luis Enrique urged the management to get both Lucas Chevalier and Ilia Zabarnyi deals done before the UEFA Super Cup final next Wednesday. Well, that's done now. After finalizing the agreement with Lille for the goalkeeper, PSG is accelerating their efforts to finalize the transfer of Ilia Zabarnyi before this week. Lucas Chevalier will undergo his medical examination this Friday morning before signing a contract at the club until 2030. Just in PSG and Bournemouth have reached an agreement for Ilia Zabarnyi on the fixed fee of a transfer worth 63 million euros. The two clubs are currently negotiating the potential add-ons of the deal, estimated to be worth between 1 to 3 million. Bournemouth obviously have been asking for 70 million euros so far this entire window, but it seems like they have gone down, so 63, let's say 3 million in bonuses, 66 million. They will be very happy with that. And I think even Fabrizio Romano mentioned something about Zabarnyi. Fabrizio Romano. Cisco. And Ilia Zabarnyi almost done and set to join Paris Saint Germain. So, the first two signings of the window, finally. Yesterday, I sat here, obviously the video was uploaded today in the morning, I sat here complaining about the transfer window and about how long it's taken to finalize these two deals. But we are finally here. Zabarnyi arriving for around 63 million, whilst Lucas Chevalier, the report mentioned in the excess of 40 million, but I saw this report here from Fabrice Hawkins. Chevalier was signed with PSG for 55 million, including bonuses. So it could be 40 million plus 15 million in bonuses. I don't think so, because the fee that Lille have always wanted is 40 million fixed fee, no bonuses. But yeah, Chevalier and Zabarnyi finally done to Paris Saint Germain. Both players combined for around 100 million euros. Zabarnyi is 22. I believe Chevalier is 23. 23. He is 23. So, two, cornerstone signings that could potentially be at the club for the upcoming 10 years. We needed a right-footed centre-back, and we got Zabarnyi. I looked at Upamecano, I looked at Konate, but Luis Enrique and Luis Campos were adamant this entire summer, despite the heavy price tag that Bournemouth was asking for, that they wanted Zabarnyi. And I was always saying, you know what, I like these other profiles, these other players, but if the management loves Zabarnyi this much, let's get us the Ukrainian, let's get us Zabarnyi. I actually saw some interesting reports that Paris Saint Germain could potentially try to move away with Safonov. It wasn't the strongest reports, but linking him to Galatasaray, which means potentially now that we have a Ukrainian, we want to offload the Russian. That has been obviously reports ever since we've been linked to Zabarnyi back in January, discussing the Russian political, the Ukrainian situation that could potentially happen at the club. Gianluigi Donnarumma will obviously be leaving Paris Saint Germain. He has 1 year left on his contract. PSG will try to get as much money as possible for the deal. Obviously, I've discussed the Donnarumma stuff before, so just go in and search why is Donnarumma leaving, or what club is Donnarumma leaving for Paris Saint Germain. But Donnarumma set to leave. Zabarnyi coming in. He could potentially be a starter already ahead of Marquinhos. I know that Luis Enrique will take it a little bit. You don't want to disrespect Marquinhos, captain, won the UCL last season, everything. But our defense and goalkeeper could potentially be Chevalier, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Zabarnyi, and Pacho, which looks absolutely great. Zabarnyi better at defending in space than Marquinhos. Great aerially as well, physical, great with the ball as well. So he complements Pacho perfectly. And Chevalier, when you look at the weaknesses of Donna, those are strengths of Chevalier. But when you look at the strengths of Donnarumma, Chevalier got them as well. So he's a perfect goalkeeper for us. Zabarnyi, perfect centre-back for us. Hopefully we get some more signings. Hopefully now that the 2 deals are done ahead of the Super Cup game versus Tottenham Hotspur, hopefully we start making some other signings. I do want to see potentially 1 midfielder, maybe backup right back, and 2 new additional attackers. I would get rid of Kangi, Leon Gonzalo Ramos, bring in Magnus Achlios and Rodrigo Mora. For the DM position, I really like Baleba. It looks like he's going potentially to United, but I would really want Baleba. And then anybody as a backup right back, because I do not want to see João Neves and Warren Zaire-Emery there. João Neves, despite looking good as a backup right back, I want to see him in the midfield, especially because we still have question marks over our entire team midfield. And then yeah, I don't. Warren Zaire-Emery, I mean, he needs to get back to his best, and that's by playing in the midfield, not as a right back. Cinema Yulu will obviously have a big season next season for Paris Saint Germain, so maybe not a midfielder is needed, maybe not a backup right back. But the priority, in my opinion, strengthen the attack. Give me some strong players in attack alongside Dembele, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, Desiree Doué, and Bradley Barcola. That's been it from boy PSG. Here we go. And as usual, allez Paris.